I'd see a student drawing something and I'm like, wow, like you have a really strong eye. Do you take art in school? And they'd say, no, we don't have art in school, which would like literally felt like a punch to the chest because I could not have survived without art in school. That was like my refuge.
Art is something that is just as important as any other school subject, and I think everyone should have access to it. When I saw the work that ProjectArt was doing, I wanted to be part of that.
It is bringing art to students who wouldn't have it otherwise. Also, it is letting artists who have no other avenue for teaching being able to give their knowledge and their artistic brains to these kids without a barrier of, getting some sort of teaching degree or something.
Accessibility to art is equal opportunity, right? I mean, if we're able to have the same opportunities that the next neighborhood has, then we don't have a barrier between our students, All youth and children should feel like they're deserving to have accessibility to something as simple as art.
I was really like, wow, this is a residency in my city. Like I get to contribute to my community with my art. To me, it sounded like the best of both worlds, that I was connected to this national group, but then I was also contributing to my community with my art. So it sounded incredibly exciting to me. So
having the opportunity to be involved in kids' lives. I remember my art teacher since I was young. Of course, I had no idea I was going to turn into an artist, but I remember my art classes. I remember my art teachers, So it was like, what an opportunity to turn into the art teacher that I always wanted to be, or that I always wanted to have, That was very, very impactful.
As an artist, it's difficult to get consistent income, and ProjectArt was one of the first positions I had as an artist that gave me that kind of partial financial stability and made me realize that being an artist is feasible.
As an artist, it's very important to be living off our work. The majority of artists have part-time jobs that have nothing to do with their practice, just because we have to survive.
It's so common that artists are kind of overworked and underappreciated, and they're often asked to do things like for exposure, or like artists shouldn't do things for free, but sometimes you do, sometimes it leads you that way. And so I think the fact that ProjectArt values their talents and skills enough to pay them for their time and, build in all these professional practice things to help build up their career. Like I just think it makes each person feel valued for their talents and not continuing this exhausted, overworked lifestyle that artists have to maintain half the time, it seems like. So
it was for me, it was rent for the year.
Having the opportunity of doing something so aligned with your work and receiving a payment from it is incredible.
It's life-changing. It's an opportunity to put yourself in challenging situations. It's an opportunity to grow as an artist, but also as a person, and I think that goes hand in hand.
I think it's a great opportunity as an artist because it mixes three things that are incredible, not only for your artist career, but I think for what we need to make this place a better world, no?
ProjectArt is asking each artist to be themselves as an artist, as a teacher. So you can really bring a lot of your interests, a lot of your goals as an artist into the classroom by designing your own custom curriculum, which is kind of unusual and pretty exciting.
ProjectArt gave me a great base, both through teaching and teaching myself new mediums, but then also getting to know other artists who were more established than me and seeing what their practice looked like and being able to talk to them and then exhibit with them. at the end of the year was really special, very meaningful, and I got a lot out of it.
Like that gave me like a foundation that now I use for like all my workshops. Like if I do a community mural or a community workshop for any sorts, it gave me like that structure, like that backbone.
I'm always trying to recapture that feeling when I was a kid and just making stuff and just feeling like really like into my little universe, and just having the students feel that and cultivating that is just, it's just really rewarding. I love it.
I don't know, I feel like every day with Project Art was a day of growth. Every time something came up, and it was beautiful, even the challenging parts.
My students taught me patience. They taught me love. They taught me how to keep my youthfulness. It has given me so much confidence in myself, in my ability to do things that I never thought I could do before.
I loved this idea that Project Art really wants to celebrate the teacher in you and the artist in you. Like they really want to cultivate both.
I think growth in any sense of the word comes from stepping out of your comfort zone.
It felt to me that Project Art wasn't necessarily looking for teachers. That's why I think that the perfect candidate is just someone who is passionate about their craft and passionate about sharing it with others and about others having the accessibility to it.
The materials and tools are sometimes the thing that gets us going as an artist. And maybe one of these students is going to find a material that lets them express their voice in the best way. So it's amazing to give them all these different options that they might not otherwise have. Yeah.
Working with young people is refreshing, and it's just a reminder of the way we could all be a little bit more.
If you want to give something of yourself to the world and make that feed your practice, I would consider applying to Project Art because it's a very wholesome program. Like, it's gonna give you a lot back.
I'll never forget this experience or the students that I taught. They'll always have a special place in my heart, especially because I see myself in a lot of them.
I mean, I even get the chills when I answer this question, but my favorite thing about Project Art is the connection that I made with certain kids that I'm never going to forget. You know, the interaction that I had with them, their little faces when we created together, certain things that they said, like the interaction that I had with some of the kids is something that I'm never going to forget.